This has nothing to do with diminished chords. I just wanted to say something about how I got a fisheye lens. Squish. We've been trying to contact you about your car's 3-day warranty. Anyways. Huh? Yeah. Hello, my accomplices. Over the past 3 years, I've been developing my own intuitive sense of voice leading, which is nice for like normal, like tonal harmony, if you want to sound like Bach. But not quite recently, but also recently, I have discovered and gotten used to a bit of a harmonic cheat. I wouldn't really call it a cheat, I just use it constantly to the point where it feels like a cheat, but it's not. It's a naturally occurring chord that can resolve anywhere. So let's talk about that. Okay, so there are 12 notes in an octave. If we're talking about distance between notes, there are a maximum of 6 distances. See, because once you go 7 steps, it's the same as going 5 steps down. So really, there are only like 6 interval sizes that you have to think about. All of them have names. I can just list them off real quick. Minor second, half step, whole tone or major second, minor third and major third, perfect fourth, tritone, and perfect fifth. And anything outside of that is really just one of those intervals upside down. So like, major sixth is really just minor third, but the other way. Why did that take me like 5 seconds? So we tend to talk about harmony in terms of the intervals that we use when we build up chords. Quintal harmony is what happens when you build fifths, perfect fifths. Chordal harmony is what happens when you build perfect fourths. Tertiary harmony, tertial harmony, is what happens when you build thirds. And interesting, there are 2 different types of thirds. There are major thirds, where you go up 4 steps, and then there are minor thirds, where you go up 3 steps. Wait, let me count. A major chord could be thought of as a root note, a note a major third above, and then a note a minor third above. And a minor chord could be thought of as, a root, a minor, and then a major. Alternating majors and minors gives you these really colorful extensions that really fit with notes that are like right next to each other, but as you extend past, take you to keys a whole step and then a major third away from the original key center. So if you're thinking of like a C major chord, you could go, give me a C. Ha 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 ooh 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 ooh. It keeps going. It keeps going in one direction over the other. But you also get really interesting results when you stack the same interval over and over. You can stack 3 major intervals on top of each other to get a 3-note chord, an augmented chord. That was right? Please tell me. I don't know. Let's consult the audience. Peripheral vision. You can also stack 4 minor third intervals to get a 4-note diminished chord. Okay, so what is the wonder of the diminished chord? Well, if you have 4 notes and they're evenly spaced within 12 notes, that means that each note covers a range of 3 notes, which means in the sense of voice leading, if we're talking about going from one chord to another, if you were to arrange the notes as close to the diminished notes as you could go anywhere. Because they cover a range of 3 notes, most all of the notes that you need for whatever chord you're looking for are either already in the diminished chord or are at most a semitone away from any one of the 4 notes that are already in the octave. I actually made a TikTok about this. I wonder if I can cue that up. 1 second. Okay, so why the hell does that work so well? Well, not only from a voice getting standpoint are all the notes that you need, like literally next door, but also you can think of a diminished chord as being built out of tritones, a minor third apart. Now, a tritone can be thought of as either a flattened perfect fifth or a sharped perfect fourth, which means there are really four ways you can resolve a tritone. Here, let's try. So even in a classical Bachian basic bitch sort of way, you do still have four places to go. At least Jacob Collier considers it a four-way. Signals Music considers it an eight-way. The tritone is just so easy to resolve, and the keys are so close to each other, you really can just go everywhere. And so personally, I use it as a bit of a cheat. If I want to go to a key that probably wouldn't sound right, I follow it not with a 5 chord, but with a diminished chord that resolves pretty much all of the notes by moving a half step to whatever key I'm going to. I'll either be moving a whole step down or a major third, which is really hard to find your way to unless you use a diminished chord and then have everything just resolve a half step in or out or whatever direction you want to go. I mean, here's an example from last night. Fresh. So while I don't really vibe with Jacob Collier's classical way of dealing with a diminished chord, I do agree that you should wield it irresponsibly. I can explain. Yeah, okay, I'm done with the fisheye lens now. Oh, you're too close. So if you couldn't tell, I got done with the YouTube bullet challenge thing. I was just going to do that for a week. I am going to start refocusing my content more on music and music theory. Just I really want to lean into the more musician side of my YouTube channel. I released a song and then I sandwiched it between a bunch of videos that didn't really fit the context. So I'm going to start switching the context up. I'm going to start uploading on Tuesdays and Fridays like I did before Christmas happened. So regular content now, I guess.